Hey everybody, wanted to do a quick video today to talk about the Loyal Companion VC because it's actually very important that you make the right decision, whether that's to pull it or not, because we have so many good things coming up on the schedule that you don't want to waste Vizio here, but you also don't want to miss a VC that could be important to your account. So we're going to talk all about the VC and make sure you're as informed as you can be. All right, let's talk about the VC so you can decide whether or not you will pull for it. But first, a cool Mysidia gaming transition. Okay, so we've got the stats for a Loyal Companion here, and they seem fine. You get some HP, a decent amount of magic, and then dexterity. And some people have been saying this is important for accuracy, and those people are right, because it gives you about a 7% increase for Golbez specifically when you put his numbers into the accuracy calculator. So that looks pretty decent to me. To get 7%, you want to stack accuracy whenever you're building people without 100% hit attacks. Every little bit counts. I love it. It gets you closer to 100%. Now, the Bestowed ability is also pretty good, and we'll bring that up to the top there. So this is some magic, some spirit, and then decrease in evasion rate. Now, obviously on casters, dark casters specifically, you're not so worried about the evasion rate decrease, but you do want magic, and Golbez specifically wants spirit. Now, everybody wants spirit, but Golbez loves spirit because he wants to be a tanky, bruisery mage, and this is going to help him achieve that goal because he can equip really high spirit armors, really high defense armors, and he can do things that, other mages are not going to be able to do. So with the current meta we have, this magic attacker meta, these people that use magic based attacks, people like Elena, people like Jaden, any amount of spirit you can get is significant, and that makes this a really good bestowed ability. You can see why people are saying it's for Golbez, even though it's got Garvel and a very good boy on the card. On to the party effects, and to be honest, I definitely like all three of them, although you're not always going to be able to use all three. So 18 magic attack is going to be great for Golbez, of course, and any other magic attackers that you're using. Now, you are going to use this in a 2 dark magic attacker team, because if you only have one magic attacker that's dark element, he's going to be holding, or they're going to be holding, the Black Rose of the Battlefield card. So this automatically means someone else is going to be in this party that will take advantage of the magic attack up. Now, the 25 crit rate might not seem that great because Golbez has 0 innate crit, and Helena has 0 innate crit, and Garvel has 0 innate crit, but there's lots of physical dark units that do have crit rate. There's, for instance, Dwayne, Prompto, and Super Stern all have crit rate. Probably Ziza does, but I forgot to look it up, so don't know for a fact. So all of those units in this party would appreciate that crit rate buff. Now, the most important thing here, the best catch for this card on the entire card, is the 20 AoE resist. This powers up Golbez. The whole card powers up Golbez, makes him deal more damage, makes him more, heavy with spirit. Also protects him against the most common attack type that he's going to face, which is AoE attacks, because I'm going to be running my Golbez with a tank, and he's going to be caught in AoEs near the tank, and he's going to take less damage because he has this VC on. So I do think that this is a really powerful VC, again, for him or for your other dark casters, which are not tanks. So if you're running them with tanks, it's going to help them survive whenever they're caught in AoEs. It's going to help in the mirror match, because that's a lot of AoEs with Helena and Golbez in the mirror match. You're going to be hit with a lot of AoEs. So I kind of like that for this. I think in the short term, it's going to be very valuable in this forced dark magic meta because of the arena map restrictions they've put on. I think that if you're really set on using Golbez on your account and you want to make the most of him, then this is a good VC to get, but it's still really hard to recommend if you're only going to be running Golbez and you have Black Rose of the Battlefield. If you're a new player though, then this is probably going to be a really good companion for Golbez. Now, similarly, if you plan to use Garvel in the future but don't have Golbez and you want to use Garvel and Helena, then again, this would be a pretty good VC to pick up. However, if you're just going to be using Garvel and you don't have Helena, or you don't want to use the two of them together, then you should probably just use Black Rose of the Battlefield, because the agility really does make a difference, and the accuracy clearly is going to be coming in handy for a long time to come. For that reason, I don't think that this is a must pull. Even if you're someone that's really big into dark units, you actually won't be able to fit this in a lot of the time because most of your dark units are physical units. So again, unless you fit that very specific criteria, you're probably not going to be pulling for this. Another thing to think about is that Dark just has a lot of really good VCs. Now, they're pretty split between physical VCs and magic VCs, so that kind of helps you assign where they're going to go, but sometimes it's better to have a physical VC on a magic attacker or magic user if the party ability is just going to help your team more. Or, if Golbez is going to be full tank anyway in certain compositions and he just has certain roles, then maybe he would be holding one of these really good physical VCs so that a physical dark team could go and wreak some havoc. So for example, we have all of these unit specific VCs like Demon Wall, we have Dwayne's VC, the Irresistible Darkness, but then we even have Maidens of the Rose or whatever it's called, I can't remember now. We have things like Diabolos, we have Omega. There's so many good dark VCs. It's really, really hard to actually figure out how you're going to fit this in, but I do think that if you depending on how many physical versus how many dark units you have, is really going to help you just kind of sort that out. I want to add on another message to this video, which is you don't have to have a mono dark team either. There are rainbow comps or like dark and one comps that could be viable. So for example, you could have a rainbow tank, whatever tank it is, Joom or King Mont or Rain or Charlotte, and then you could have two dark units. You could have Kane and Golbez, or you could have Golbez and Helena, whatever it is. Maybe they're using the two magic VCs, and your tank, their job is to tank and divert the enemy. So maybe they actually are holding one of these physical dark VCs that could help out your team, even though they can't take advantage of any of the effects. It doesn't matter. It's a stat stick and it's something that's helping the rest of the team. They're just there to take damage. So don't get set in your way thinking that you have to build mono dark. Now, mono dark is going to be viable a lot of the time for these types of, using these types of units, but you can use other sprinklings of various element units, and they can hold dark VCs. There's nothing wrong with them holding a dark VC. This VC is so tricky to figure out. I'm actually not sure if I'm going to be pulling for it or not, although the chances of me pulling for it have gone up because I'm almost certainly not going for Satya and the Dinosaur VC. And I actually really like the Dinosaur VC. I just don't like the Esper so much. I think I could wait for the VC and just get it later on. Hopefully, maybe one day we get a select ticket or something, or we just pull on some good one-year banners and hope to get it there with the retry or whatever it is. So I'm not in a rush to get it, and when you put it that way, it could be the same for this VC as well. So I'm still undecided. If there's a 2K paid, I'm definitely going to be going for that, but I actually want to know what you think. So let me know in the comments down below if you're going to be going for a loyal companion, why or why not. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching the video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider doing that. I've also recently opened up a membership for the channel, so if you want to become a Mysidian member, you can do that, and you get custom emotes and various other benefits. So check that out, and we'll see you all in the next video.